Okay, we're at the UNI Games factory right now, and this is where we receive all the parts and raw material to make the POW game. Now, the POW game has a lot of parts and pieces to it, including the box itself. We have the boxes manufactured and sent to us, as well as the pawns and the dice. The boards themselves and the instruction booklets we manufacture here at the UNI Games factory. Now, our parts that we receive, of course, come to us, just separated into containers depending on what color they are. Of course, our dice are sent to us as well, and they're the only part of the UNI game, or POW game, that's not made in the United States. They no longer make dice in the United States. So what we do with it, we bag all the pawns up individually, and we add the dice to them and get them ready to put into the game. Now, the expandable board itself, we completely manufacture here at the UNI Games factory. And of course, it has four parts to it. It actually has the face, the piece of paper that goes on the front of it. Okay, that's a high quality grade, that's a high grade paper. It has each front and a back piece to it that's glued together, and it has a wooden peg to help hold it together during the play, while you're playing the game. Now, we also have a lower grade paper that we use to print the instruction booklet. Okay, now what I want to show, we get the foam board from a company in Connecticut. We get it for as large pieces as we can, and then we manipulate the foam board down to the right size in order to make our expandable game board. And I want to show you how we do that. Okay, now we have our design right here, and what makes it work for us is it's very rigid. It holds everything in place and gets us able to cut this foam board in a nice, even, straight edge. So we just place our foam board on here. We slide it straight on there. Now we have our same razor that we used before. We just have mounted it in a way that we can hold it tight and it doesn't move. So we just drop it right in our guide right here. Make sure everything's lined up on the bottom, lined up on the sides so everything's nice and straight. And we just take our razor and we just literally drag it straight across, and we get a nice, smooth, perfect cut every time. And we just slide this in, and we're ready for our next cut. So the whole idea of this is the speed in which we can do this. So now we slide it, cut it again, slide it out, and we're done. Now normally we don't have this much excess left over, but because of the size pieces we're doing in this particular case, well, we need to make another cut to allow us to get the right size. And again, all we do is drop a shim in place. Okay, now we can slide our board in for the next cut. It's already measured to the right length. Raise our cutter, slide it right out. Ready for our next cut. So you see how much quicker this would be than trying to hand cut these. And you get a perfect cut every time. And the difference when you're trying to cut it using that straight edge, you'll get these jagged edges and jagged cuts. It makes it difficult to line up in the next step that we're going to build a game board. Okay, we're going to put the tape in hyperdrive now, because we need 12 sheets just to make one game. Even though cutting the boards is a lot of fun, it's not as much fun to watch unless we put it in fast motion. Okay, now that we've cut out all of our foam board and down into manageable pieces, we can glue the fronts on the expandable game board. Now, what we're using to print the color onto the front of these game board is the HP LaserJet printer. This is a very affordable printer, high quality, and does an outstanding job. So what we've done is we've already drawn all the game boards, all the different colors. We've got blue, black, green, purple, red, and yellow. So we're set up, we're already ready to print. So we take our high quality paper that we purchased, and we're going to load that in the printer cartridge. And we load that paper in there just when we're using it so people will not accidentally print on it. So I'm going to set this thing up, hit the print button. We're going to print pages 1 through 6. And ready to go. Now the other thing we like about this printer is it's very fast, it's efficient, and it prints on both sides of the paper, which is really helpful when we're printing our instruction booklets out, because we've set that up to not use as much paper by using the front and the back. As you can see, these things print out, and this printer just does an outstanding job printing these papers out. Got them all printed out. Now we're ready to go to the glue chamber. Okay, now we are ready to actually glue our paper to the foam board. Now, in the beginning we tried different types of glue, because what we found is one of the properties of glue is when the moisture leaves, it actually contracts and starts pulling in. So every type of glue we tried worked the foam board so badly that we couldn't even use it. So we went to the store and we picked out every kind of glue we had, and we ran a bunch of different tests. We found that some glue weren't as bad as others, but they did all contract and cause us problems. And we literally tried every type of glue. Even contact cement caused us a problem, because it caused a chemical reaction in the board that melted the board, so we couldn't use it either. We finally found something called Duro Spray, made by Duct Tape, same people that make duct tape, and it's an American company, and it worked perfectly for us. Now, it is a spray adhesive, and one of the problems that it has is as you're spraying it, it gets all over everything. The after spray sprays and gets all over your arms, and you breathe it, and so that presented us a problem too that we had to solve. We could not let that stand in our way, because we have to glue the stuff together. So we developed what we call the glue chamber, and I'm going to show you that right now.